Test 1, 2, 3.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
You hear me? I am so glad I have my best voice on because I am now, in another hour, going to be your past president. I know you're thankful. And I am too, because I didn't make too many mistakes. And I want to thank my committee, who were so loving, forgiving, bullied me a little bit, but in a nice way. And so I succeeded. Thank you to my committee, and also the greeters and the committee members and their staff who have helped them. So please acknowledge my thanks, okay? And just before I do anything else, I would like to introduce my guest, my daughter Bridget and her husband Doug from Boston, who came here for a week to check up on me, that I'm using my cane, little things like that. Throwing papers away that I've had for 14 years and I treasure, they're gone. So what I'm saying is, although I'll miss her tomorrow, I'm relieved in a way because I can get back to my old sloppy ways and I won't have to tell her. Anyway, dear Bridget and Doug, thank you for being here. Thank you for helping me. And on behalf of all the members, safe trip home. I am going to start with not the secretary. Just a minute. Oh, I call on the secretary to present the minutes of the last AGM, but she's not going to read them. They're just have been sent to you by letter, and we're not going to read any of the reports because it's repetitive and we don't need that. We've got to get on with the 2 meetings. So the next meeting will be Norm Fisher. And if we could have the screen on the financial report that Norm Fisher has put on, that would be great. David is going to do that. Oh, and Bill Greenaway, thank you for being here and helping so much.
Am I supposed to read this?
Huh?
Am I supposed to read this?
Yes.
Oh.
But it's supposed to be on the screen.
It
too.
is.
Oh, okay. Say a couple of words now that you're here.
I'm supposed to say a couple of words now that I'm here, so hello and goodbye. No. As a treasurer, part of my duties are maintaining the financial records of the organization and preparing the financial statement for the end of the year. When that's all done, it's turned over to somebody else, independent but knowledgeable, to do the year-end review. And that was done by Bill Greenaway, which we appreciate very much. His report came before that. What you see there, that's Bill's report. And that report is to the officers, the committee, the directors, and everybody, all the members. In the actual financial statement, there are 2 statements. One is a statement of financial position, which is otherwise known as a balance sheet. And it's a statement a specific point in time, which is the last minute of the last day of August 31st, 2024. And it includes the assets, which are things that we own, the liabilities, things that we owe, and the net assets. We own cash, we have money in the bank, we have GICs, surplus funds. In doing these, we use generally accepted accounting principles, so which means that revenue and expenditures have to be recorded in the year, the period they take place. So we have things paid before August 31st that apply to the year we're in now, starting September the 1st. That's what the prepaid expenditures are. And that's mostly made up of rent deposits. We pay rent for the year. The liabilities is deferred revenue, and these are membership dues for the current year that were paid before August 31st. And the net assets is the accumulated in revenues or deficits right from the beginning of time. The last statement is a statement of operations, which covers everything that happened financially during the year between September 2003 and August 2024. The revenue consists of dues, interest on the GICs, our expenditures, program, which is this, like our monthly meetings, various activities, which pretty well break even. There's the things like include like the Down Charles Blues Band event, which is coming up. Expenses relating to membership, which includes new name tags and stuff like that. Technology, stuff for the computer and the internet. We do have a website, which costs money. Insurance. There are bank charges and processing fees. That's where the credit card company charges us for credit payments that are made by credit card. And then miscellaneous office expenses. We did have a slight surplus this year of $2,900, which will be utilized during this year against expenditures.
Perfect.
Okay, thanks.
Once again, perfect.
We try.
Norm, thank you for explaining it to us in such a sort of a down-to-earth.
And Louise Watson moves that we accept the treasurer's report.
Yeah, I'm just thanking him first. Is that okay? I love thanking people. That's one thing I can do.
Call for a vote.
Yes, Ruth, what were you going to say?
Call for a vote.
What's that? Yeah, I'd like to call for a vote on what Norm just explained to us, please. And a seconder? David, and a seconder?
Already
Okay.
been moved and seconded. Just call for the vote.
All in favor? And I have to,
Can I move that the minutes of the last AGM be approved as circulated?
yes. I would like you to
I'll
do
second that.
And who's going to second that? David, okay. So we're all
Vote.
approved? Okay. Is that all right? And I know that we have a quorum here, which is very important for this meeting. And we have been working on the nomination for this coming year. And I'm hoping that it is going to go up on the screen who we have nominated. Perfect. And are there any other nominations that would like to be brought up?
I move the nominations closed.
Perfect. Thank you, David. And who seconded it, Bill? Thank you. So these are
Call
the
the
new
vote.
members of our committee.
Call the vote.
I move you move to accept the report of the nomination.
You move it, and I'd like a seconder.
Move that nominations closed. David moved that nominations closed.
Oh, you did, David. I didn't hear that. I'm sorry. Yes. Yes, I'll vote that it be closed forever for the next year. What's that? Yes, I do too. And whoever's in favor, yes. Okay. Joyce, put your hand up. I'm worried about you, Joyce. Are you working against me? Anyway, that is good. Now, the next step is, Jim, is that all right if you come forward? Is that right?
Yep.
Yep.
You're right on.
This, believe it or not, is a miracle. Every so often, we have to believe in miracles. And Jim is my miracle. When I asked him to be president, he was so gracious, thoughtful, thought about it, had a chat with David Churchill after men's club one morning, also talked with Ruth, who was encouraging too.
Exactly.
And now you're the new president. But I have to thank you for accepting it. And I'm going to give... Now, what you have to do is we cannot have two presidents, because you know how bossy I am. So what you have to do is give me the past president button. Right here. Why did you laugh? We're organized, okay?
Let's not drop it.
Huh? No. No. Okay.
I get to pin you. Just before you do that, just before she does that, I want to say, Ann Boudreau, I am here to thank you for fulfilling the presidential role for 2023-24, and also to congratulate you on your retirement.
Thank you.
I have the honor of presenting you with this pin, which acknowledges you as past president. We'll put it right in the center.
Okay.
Jeez, I hope I don't drop the other end of it. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you.
Now, as you well know, we do have a list of duties for you in the new season as you take on the title of past president, and I'm thanking you in advance.
Place is haunted. Thank you very, very much, Jim. As everyone knows, it has been an honor for me to be president, and it's even more of an honor to be past president, because I'm adjusting to trying to do a little bit less, and I think this is going to help me.
Let's see if I can dig that puppy out.
Can you? So I, in turn, I'm going to give you your pin as president, Jim, congratulate you, and tell you, that's the one, and tell you how thankful and impressed you are.
Go for it.
I didn't know this was a bit of part of the job. I love it. Leave it open. Congratulations, Jim. It's an honor to have him here with us this year, and I know he's got a great job. He's going to do a great job, and also we're all going to support him. And believe it or not, we end up every year as presidents making new friends. So I have made new friends, you will, and anybody who would like to volunteer is guaranteed to make new friends. We need friends. It's a gift, and we have to share our gifts with each other. So thank you,
You're welcome.
Jim, for doing this, and you have my support.
That's great. Now, you're going to stay up on stage to back me up, are you?
Yes, I am.
Perfect.
But
Oh, you have to leave.
yeah, but what it is I'm going to back you up, but I'm also lying because I have a hospital.
That's fine.
Is that yours?
Yep.
Okay. I have a hospital procedure which I did not have in September because it was the opening of our PROBUS program. But this year, this month, I have to go because I ruptured my back, and the next appointment would be in December, and I can't wait. So Bridget and Doug, my daughter and son-in-law, are going to take me to the hospital to be there on time because they're very conscious of time, and I'm not, and I will sit here for a couple more minutes until they look at me in that strange way that children do, and I will get up and go. Okay?
Okay. You got it. Wow. I'm hoping to keep the rest of the AGM relatively short. First item for me on the AGM agenda is to ask, is there any other business to be discussed? I'll take the liberty here to extend a big thank you to last year's management committee and the interest group chairs. If you were a leader of one of these key positions, I want you to stand up. On behalf of PROBUS Guelph, I wish to thank each one of you for your participation in this annual general meeting. As there is no other business, I declare the annual general meeting adjourned. And I will now call the regular meeting to order. As your new president, and on behalf of our management committee, I extend a warm welcome to our October 2024 meeting. This is the beginning of a new year for PROBUS Guelph, and we're in for a lot of fun. Have a look at the activity tables at the back. There are many interest groups to be involved in, and these activities are also displayed in the October PROBUS newsletter. What's coming up? Kathy, do you have anything to bring on?
Good morning. I'm here to invite you to get your ticket to Christmas on the Hill. We're having our annual Christmas luncheon on December the 12th. It's at the Guelph Country Club. You'll see this flyer at the back there, and you'll also see it online. Tickets are $45 each, and the bar will open at 11:30. The buffet will open at 12:15. We'll then have entertainment by the Royal City Ambassadors. So it's going to be a great day. Our menu includes turkey, ham, mashed potatoes, scalloped potatoes, salad, dressing, cranberries, gravy, rolls, pumpkin pie, lemon meringue pie, tea and coffee. So it's going to be a great day. I hope you can come. Back at the back, they're taking reservations today and at our meeting next month, and you can get yourself registered online as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Kathy. Thank you, Kathy. And Jackie, you had something to say here. Well, Jackie is coming up. I'm just going to take a sec to... Well, Jackie's coming up. I'm just going to say...
Can you back the slideshow up to the...
The name badges slide.
It's yours.
Oh. I'm hoping that's going to pop up. So I'm retiring as membership chair, but I'm still going to be helping Ellen because it's kind of a big job and it's a big technical job. But one of the big parts of the job is managing your name tags. So, first of all, last year we ordered a bunch of name tags for people who were missing them, and then the name tags went missing. So, so now we're even more behind on name tags. So what we're going to do is, if you don't have a name tag, please put your name on a list at the badges table. We're going to gather that up, plus all the people that have joined PROBUS basically since June, maybe May, I have to go back, and we're going to order a slew of new badges, okay, so that everybody has a badge. We're using a new system. We used to go to a jeweler, then we went to a trophy place, but we're going to actually use PROBUS Canada to get our badges, which means we have to order them in like groups of 20. So that means we're going to order, but then there's going to be a bit of a delay as new members join, okay? So if you're someone who knows a new member who says, how do I get my badge? We're going to start ordering in sort of larger numbers. Once we have the list of people who need badges, we're going to send out an email to those people because you have the option of how you put your badge on now. We used to choose. So unless you tell us, which you will get the opportunity to do in the email, you're getting a magnetic badge. But you can have a pin or you can have the bulldog clip. That's your call. So we'll send an email, we're ordering the badges. Please confirm if you want a magnetic back, which is what you're going to get unless you specify pin or bulldog. We'll give you so many days, and then we pull the trigger, and you get what you get. So that's what's happening with badges. So we have not abandoned badges, and we're going to make sure everybody has a badge, but that's the new system, and I'll help Ellen get that underway. Does anybody have a question about badge? Ask away. Did everybody hear that? That is not something I would have known. So no magnetic badges for pacemakers. So please, if you get this email, tell us so we don't order that for you. Anything else? Okay.
Thank you, Jackie. And I just want to take a second to acknowledge and thank you to today's greeters. That's Judy Cavell and Barbara Gamsby. Thank you very much. Now, is there anyone else that has guests to introduce for today's meeting, other than Doug and Bridget? Welcome again to this meeting. Now, I'm aware as well of several new members awaiting their induction into our PROBUS Club, but in the interest of keeping this meeting on schedule, we'll delay official intros until the November meeting. And before I forget, I want to remind you that the new COVID shots are coming available this month, as well as the latest flu shots. We all know that COVID has reemerged, and I know we're all conscious of the importance of staying healthy. Have I forgotten anything? Yes. Excellent. Nancy and Alex, welcome to the meeting. I'm sorry, there's another one. I'm going to ask Jesse Watts to come and introduce our speaker, please. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm here to introduce our guest speaker today, Kim Court of Torchlight Services. Kim has been in the developmental services field for over 30 years. She started her journey in this field at the age of 16 in a Toronto community living group home and is now the program coordinator at Torchlight. Kim completed a master's degree at the University of Guelph in medical anthropology, studying cross-cultural health and wellness practices. Her master's thesis focused on the woefully understudied experiences of siblings of individuals with disabilities. Kim feels privileged to serve and support adults with disabilities and their families for over 21 years at Torchlight. Welcome, Kim.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me here today. We're making a switch. All right.
We'll get it figured out.
So technology is not my forte, so you'll have to bear with me. When I was a kid, my iPad was a light bright. So let's see. All right. All right, so I'm going to start with Torchlight Services. Who are we and what do we do? So our mission statement is to advocate for, promote, and facilitate the full participation, inclusion, and empowerment of people who have a disability within the community. We are a nonprofit charitable organization as well. So what that means is everybody belongs everywhere. So we believe in the importance of working collaboratively with various other agencies and community resources to make sure that we're providing the best supports and the best outcomes for the people that we serve. We believe in developing an organizational culture that fosters learning, innovation, evidence-based, informed best practices, and we recognize the valuable contributions of our staff and volunteers. We are environmentally, socially, and fiscally responsible, and we also act with transparency and ethically in all that we do. So 50 years ago, Pat LeDuc, along with some other people in the community and other social agencies, thought that people with disabilities would be really good at doing excellent work if they were given the opportunity. But this opportunity was not often available, and so Torchlight Services was born. And it was born to answer the special challenges that adults with mental health issues faced in locating, securing, and retaining gainful employment or re-entering the workplace. We have a dedicated board of directors, and we evolved so that not only people with mental health were welcomed into our program, but also people with physical and developmental and brain injuries were accepted into our programs. In 1980, Keith Limburner became Torchlight's leader for the next 36 years. So in its early stages, Torchlight had two different programs. We had what is called a sheltered workshop program, so it was a vocational training program, as well as a community program for adults who were seeking to enter competitive waged employment. The people that were in the sheltered workshop program were not able to maintain competitive waged employment for whatever reason. So when they attended Torchlight as the workshop, they had the option of working full or part-time, and they would be in a situation where their needs were understood. So if you could only work half a morning, 1 day a week, that's fine. If you could come in and do a full day, 5 days a week, that's fine too. And we would accommodate whatever disabilities they may have to be able to do the work that we had brought into the workshop. So during the 80s, we had an influx of people that joined Torchlight to be part of the Community Options program, the competitive waged employment portion of our program. These are original logos, so the Torchlight Industries, Torchlight Services, and the Community Options logos. And these were some of the work projects that we did. So those are vials which are from VH, can't remember, but they have little milk testing vials. And they would clean these vials and grind them down to be used, and it saved all those little bottles from going into landfill. We also work for a company called Soapworks, and they do the soap displays at the bulk barn. So when you go to the bulk barn and you see all the soaps in the back, we made their displays. That was our truck that we used to pick up all of our stuff and deliver our contracts. We also would go out with our participants and go to places like the University of Guelph and do mailings and stuffing envelopes back when email didn't exist. And we did some labeling for things as well. People would send us packages that they would need us to put labels on. We had a wood shop and continue to have a wood shop where we would make various items for community. So we've been a well-respected standalone community organization, and we've earned recognition and support from all levels of government. Our service extends beyond our participants and caregivers. We've always been supportive of our local businesses, artists, musicians, and other organizations. So we reach out to all of our community, local community businesses, and we patronize these places, and we ask them to come and present to our program people as well. So in 2016 and 2018, the provincial government came down with a no more sheltered workshops. So there were two of them at the time. There was the one in community living called ARC Industries, and ours, which was Torchlight Industries. And again, this was a workshop or a place for people who could not maintain competitive waged employment for whatever reason, and they would come and, we had a punch clock, we had bells that went off to indicate lunchtime and breaks. But the ministry decided that it didn't focus enough on inclusion and community and engagement. So we were told if we did not transition from the sheltered workshop to a day option program, we would no longer receive funding. So we went through quite a bit in that 2016 to 2018 time. We had to figure out a way to transition. We had to figure out a way to get each individual person that attended our sheltered workshop, how we were going to serve them in the future. We had to completely reorganize our staff and what our staff were doing. And our executive director of 36 years retired. And then COVID hit. So it was a huge, big transition for everybody. So the way we did it was we phased out our contracts gradually, and then we ended them when then they were just done. And then we had what we called a community outreach program, which basically meant I sat down with each individual participant and said, what are your goals? What would you like to do? How would you like to be involved and engaged meaningfully with your community and with your friends? So we came up with a new logo. We were no longer Torchlight Services, we were no longer Torchlight Industries Community Options. We were now Torchlight Services. So we decided to look at the whole person when we did our programming. So we decided to do things that would be recreational and social, life skills, music, healthy lifestyles, nutrition, horticulture and nature, volunteering in the community, and personal safety. So those were our main goals of how we were going to provide programming for the people that continue to attend Torchlight. So some of the things that we do in our community, we do rock climbing, so that this is just going to now be a bunch of pictures, and I just tell you kind of where we go and what we do. So they came to me and they said, we want to go rock climbing. And I said, okay. We go to the parks and have picnics. So like Anne had said earlier, your past president now, friendship. And that is what Torchlight is really about, is getting people together, being with their friends, being with their peers. We go down to the splash pad downtown. Yeah. And it's fantastic. They just, COVID, right. So yeah, COVID happened. And so we had to go through a whole process of running online programs and then figuring out Zoom and figuring out how we can unmute ourselves and mute other people and do all of that. So we offered free programs for the first year that we were unable to run programming in the facility. And then when we reopened our doors, we did all the antigen screening and testing, so that was fantastic doing that every day. And then we have a social enterprise program, and our social enterprise program is open to anyone. So how we differ from other social enterprise programs is anyone that wants to participate at Torchlight can. I don't care how slowly you're going to do it. I don't care how bad it's going to look. I don't care if all you want to do is paint a rock. You will get paid for the time that you put in once we've sold that product and the overhead costs have been covered and blah, 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 blah. But you will earn money for whatever work you put in and whatever revenue we get out. It's not about who can work the fastest, who can do it the best, it's whoever wants to do it can. So these are some of the things we've done. So we do little trees and bears. These things are huge. They love these things. It's because I don't know why. They love them. And then in 2022, we moved. So a whole bunch happened in 5 years. Our executive director retired, COVID hit, we had to transition from a sheltered workshop, and then we had to move. Our old location we had been at for 40 years, but we were told that there was a company that was planning on building above us. And we couldn't put our participants through that kind of construction work, that kind of noise, that kind of stuff. So we moved downtown to a much more central location, which is fantastic. So this is us taking apart the old building. Well, this is us supervising that one guy there. And this is my last stand in the very old, in the old building. And this was our new building. So we, the new building, a real estate fella heard that we had to move, heard about our organization, and had bought this building and had said to us that he would build it based on our specs, what we wanted, which was fantastic. So we could go in from the roots and have it exactly how we wanted that building made. So every time, we like to joke around too. So this is, our executive director went on vacation and I made a new one to help oversee while she was gone. Yeah. There's the new building, the outside. That's our wall of donations. So when you may make a donation to us in kind or cash donation or however you may do your donation, depending on the amount, we put your star up on our wall. And then this is our grand opening. And the mayor played at our grand opening. He plays the drums if you weren't aware. And then this is us. These are just going to be pictures of us out and about and kind of some of the things that we do at Torchlight. So those are the downtown concerts. They run them every summer from June to July, the end of July. We go out on boat trips. So there's a company in Oakville called Chartability, and they are amazing. They are also a charitable organization, and they offer free boat rides to adults with disabilities in Oakville, so they go along the river there. This is during the pandemic, so we went and visited people as well, our participants, just so that they could see our faces and we could see their faces. Rib Fest. Who doesn't like Rib Fest? And we go to farms. So this is actually the alpaca farm, although Mike's standing with a horse. That is Derek. He comes and plays for us. He's one of our participants' brothers, and he's a musician who comes and plays for us at our Christmas party and at Halloween. And then, of course, they're meeting. Which one is that? The Spike or one of them. I don't remember their names. We do sleigh rides, so they're just getting their apple cider for the sleigh ride. And then I had the Autism Dog Services come in and bring their dogs to show us how they train their dogs. And that was a big hit. There's the Kitty Cafe, Halloween. That's one of our staff doing charades. We like to have fun. So this picture, so what you see on the person's head there, this was an educational program that I had developed where they were making catapults out of marshmallows and sticks. And our executive director, Patty, came out and said, "This looks boring." So she started throwing the marshmallows. And it turned into a huge marshmallow fight, my very important educational science project. And then they just started putting them on their heads. So, yeah. This is one of our fundraisers. And our executive director, Patty, the blonde, shares a birthday with one of our participants, so every year we get a picture of them together. Supporting the Leafs. And then there's the staff. So part of my job as program coordinator is to make sure everybody is in, the inclusive, all that important mission statement stuff, but also that everybody's having fun. And that includes the staff. If the staff aren't laughing, our participants aren't laughing. So we have a lot of fun. I don't know why I'm under a desk, but I'm under a desk. That's us at the Christmas party. We had a little staff get-together, Christmas party, pictures of all of us together. So this is Torchy. Torchy is our mascot. And Torchy goes traveling with the staff. So anytime the staff go away, they take Torchy, take pictures of Torchy at various locations, and we make sure that Torchy is well looked after. So that was spa day for Torchy. And that's one of our participants enjoying watermelon. Now, I do have more pictures I can show, which I'm happy to do. I'm cognizant of your time. What are we looking at here? Do I have time to go through some more photos? Yeah? All right. So you just have to bear with me. So I'm going to show you the open house because our renovation pictures, because that was huge. Moving a building with 40 years worth of stuff in it, including woodshop equipment, was quite the endeavor. Just have to turn the music off. Sorry. That was terrible. All right. So the renovation. So after 40 years, we moved downtown. That is the basement. This is what it first looked like when we saw the building. Yeah, it looked like that. And then Patty was meeting with construction crew. I could not believe that this was going to be Torchlight. Like I don't know where that was. So that is the program area. The antigen testing room where you saw me in the little getup. An almost accessible washroom. That's one of our staff's desks areas. The front entrance. And then program staff area desks would go in this area. And trying to envision everything when you first walk in, it was really a task. And the floors look nicer now. So this used to be a restaurant. Not sure where that is. I wanted a chocolate fountain. I made the request. It was denied. That's the old picture. And there's where my office and the executive director Patty's office area is, without walls. And then our administrative front office manager, her area. And there's some stuff that looked important going into the building. And some more important stuff being carried in. And look at, it's all set to go, the important stuff. And then we needed some walls. And then that guy's holding up the walls. And our kitchen. So what makes our kitchen interesting and what the builders did for us is when you do cooking programs, normally you go into the kitchen and you're going to make chili. And then everybody takes a turn stirring the chili in the pot. We have it set up so that that counter area there has 4 different outlets so that they have their own little hot plate, their own toaster oven, whatever they need, and all of their individual ingredients so they can make what we're making from start to finish as independently as they can. It's not collaborative. I don't remember what that is. Then we decided to paint it our colors. And then at night we also had work done when they installed our sign. And that's at the old Torchlight. We had these, I don't know where we got these hazmat suits, but we had these hazmat suits, and as we were cleaning out the old building, because 40 years of an old building and 40 years of stuff, we wanted them to be safe. And then this was the first day that everybody came to the new Torchlight. And it was just wonderful to see everybody's faces. We go to play with clay downtown. So I try to do things like play with clay when there's like Mother's Day or Father's Day or Christmas so that they can do their program but also have a gift to give to someone. We had someone come in and do yoga with us. That's the day we got our new shirts. So we got these outing shirts. And the reason we got them is that we would go to the downtown concerts with about 15 to 20 people and try to keep track of them. So we got these shirts, and it had made our lives a lot better. Now sometimes people that were just wearing an orange shirt that day got huddled with us, but they like to go to the nail salon and get their nails done and pampered. The downtown music. They go to the zoo. And so it's the Brantford Zoo. I had someone tell me they wanted to go to Marineland and to the Toronto Zoo, and we couldn't do it, but I try to make sure that, again, focusing on what they want and the choices that they want to make, that we can accommodate as best as we can. So yeah, these are good friends. Same zoo, different log. Royal City Park for picnics, more picnicking, sunshine and picnics. We get out as much as we can. They look like gangsters. So we did this speed river watching. We had gotten these ducks and then written down kind of positive affirmations. You are kind, you are beautiful, you are lovely, and put these little ducks in the river, hoping that we could have a little duck race. They just turned upside down, and so it was a disaster. We go to the boathouse for ice cream. They love the ice cream at the boathouse. They, again, hanging out, going downtown. A little Petunia Clark for you folks. Downtown, hoodlums downtown, friends. I think this was at the Mountsburg Conservation Park. They have a falconry and exotic bird area. Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about your funding? Absolutely. So there was a question about funding and where our funding comes from. So we are funded through the Ministry of Community, Children's and Social Services. We get an amount from them that covers basically the operational costs. We also have a program fee where each participant pays a fee every day that they attend. And that money goes towards mileage for the van that we have and program supplies and a variety of other things. And then we rely on grant writing, and donations.
Looks to me as if you're doing some really neat things that you weren't able to do when you had sheltered workshop. What is missing? What do you wish you could still do that you can't do now?
So what I wish we could do is focus more on the one-to-one in the community activities. We have people that would like to do things that are after hours. They'd like to go to the movies. They'd like to go one-on-one to some sort of a club, like they want to go to. There's a place that is only open after torchlight hours are. There are people that want to volunteer or get a job. If we were able to have a staff that was devoted entirely to community engagement and community engagement goals, that would be fantastic. Then we would be able, we're person-centered, person-driven, person-focused. So what that means is they have choices, and a lot of their choices, community choices, we are unable to fulfill because of numbers. So when we go out in the community, we have, 6 to however many participants to 2 or 1 staff member. And we just don't have the availability of a devoted staff to be able to do that one-to-one stuff with them. So that's what I would like to see. And that's what I've been writing grants for, is to be able to do that sort of thing.
Can you tell me, do you have a wait list, and does that fee prohibit anyone from attending?
So what there is, the ministry, so anyone with a developmental disability has what is called passport money. And this money is given to everyone that is registered through Developmental Services Ontario. And as soon as you're registered with them, you are automatically eligible for this base funding, which is not enough to cover their needs, but it helps. So they get this base funding, and then they are able to use that to choose what programs they want to go to. Our program, because we are ministry funded in part, is less expensive than some of the private programs that are offering day program options in our community. So we're $35 a day, and some of the private organizations are between $75 to $80 a day, which is really unfortunate because I'd love to see our participants do a variety of different programs to be exposed to new people, new friends, new approaches. Oh, so the wait list. The wait list is funny because the Developmental Services Ontario, which is where I get my referrals, they have a process where you are prioritized based on need, not on first come, first serve. And I am not told how many people are on our registry until I submit what's called a resource declaration, or a space that's opened up. I know there's a wait list. I have no idea how long.
Are you ever involved in finding housing for these people?
So we are not involved in housing or competitive waged employment at this time. So what we do is that's a very common question. We often will counsel families and give advice and provide them with the resources that they need. Okay.
I don't have a question, but I could make a comment. I was reading a story yesterday that shows, if given a chance, how much the handicapped people can get involved. A young man in England took up boxing. He had Down syndrome, and he was matched with the recently retired champion of his division, and he knocked him out in the first round.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I just want to lean on Dave Churchill there. There may be more questions here, but I also understand that there may be questions in the chat box. Is that right, Dave? I'm not sure how I'm to acknowledge that. No questions in the chat box? I think there might be another question or two right here.
It's more of a comment than a question. I personally find it very sad that you went from helping them do something constructive, working, to playing, is what I got out of your comments, and you seem to want to go back to the work program. Am I correct in assuming that?
So what's interesting about your comment, so when we were the sheltered workshop, when we did the transition, it was very, very difficult. What set us apart from the other sheltered workshop is that they also had, community living had a day program built into that. So when they weren't busy in the sheltered workshop, they were doing other activities and programming. For us, we just had that. They came in, they punched in, it was work they wanted, it was work they were doing. When that changed, we had people waiting at the door for deliveries for months. They just couldn't figure it out. Now, with all of the different activities, all of the different programs that we do, I ask people if they want to do some work for the social enterprise program that I talked about. Nope. Nope, we want to do this activity. We want to do this program. We want to go on that outing. So that transition, although at first was very, very bumpy, it's very different now. It's very different now. Yeah.
That's okay. Questions?
Okay.
May I call on Diane Harvey, please, to thank the speaker?
Kim, on behalf of the members of PROBUS Club, I would like to thank you for taking us through the 50 years of Torchlight Services and how it has evolved, and the ministry, how it has changed us over the years. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Diane.
I'm on the board of Torchlight, so I'm very involved with this. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. And thank you, Diane, as well, for stepping up. Folks, our next meeting will be on November 14th. Our speaker will be Donna Pickering regarding supporting families of the military. And finally, this is Thanksgiving weekend coming up. Enjoy your time with family and friends. And this concludes our October meeting. See you next month.
You done good.